Guys, I want to make this real simple for you. It doesn't matter who you are. Whether you're an athlete, a weekend warrior, or what they call a keyboard cowboy, AG1 is for you. I'm talking over 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. Everything I just named in one scoop, guys. That's it. There's no guesswork. This is clinically studied nutrition that's going to support your immune system, your gut, your brain, and my favorite, your energy. I take this first thing in the morning, and guess what? I don't need to slam 3 coffees and a shot to get moving anymore. I feel energized, and I know I'm filling in the gaps that diet alone simply doesn't cover. AG1, it's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, it's vegan, paleo, keto, and there's less than 1 gram of naturally occurring sugar. Now here's the kicker. It's NSF-certified for sport, so it meets the gold standard in independent quality and safety certifications. Friends, I've told you, you can't fake quality. And AG1 only sources the best ingredients possible. You would be hard-pressed to find a more complete supplement anywhere. AG1, 1 scoop once a day. That's how the pros do it. Go to drinkag1.com/Chael Sonnen. You're going to get a free welcome kit when you first subscribe. It includes AG1 travel packs and a free bottle of vitamin D. Thank you, AG1, for sponsoring today's video. Is it fair that Tom Aspinall's stock has gone down? I'm talking about the court of public opinion. Now, I got this. Damon and Mike Heck were having a conversation, and I read the transcript, and Mike Heck was very hard on Chael. Now, Mike gets a pass because Mike always backs Chael. So the fact that Mike was saying, hey, Chael, you got this right, it kind of made me listen. I kind of pay a little bit more attention because I know how supportive he has been. And Tom's stock going down. Let's take a look at that. So let me give you some numbers, okay? Numbers don't lie. My partner's DraftKings had Tom at one point, and it was, you'd have to check the chart, it was a spike in the graph, but they had him on fight day a 3.5 to 1 favorite. It did not close at that. But Tom actually went up, became a larger favorite after the face-offs at the weigh-in. Okay. When the fight goes off, he was actually inside of 3 to 1. But let's just call it 3 to 1. When my partners at DraftKings come out with a new line for the fight that is eventually going to take place, it's going to be close. There will be times, I mean, if they were to do it today and money starts coming in, they take action, that Surreal could be the favorite. Try to imagine that. So when we talk about Tom's stock dropping, that's a very tough claim. I mean, on those hands, a guy that was a 3.5 to 1 favorite that is now the underdog, you'd think that his stock dropped. But the anticipation to see Tom versus Surreal was very small, guys. That pay-per-view did not do very good numbers. Now, it didn't do bad numbers just because of who it was. They changed the start time, right? Anytime you got a fight that's you're used to kind of a party situation, my friends out here on the West Coast, it started at 11 a.m. We just don't do parties at 11 a.m. East Coast, it's 2 o'clock. A lot of people didn't know that. So that fight was not heavily watched, but I will share for you, the next one's going to be tremendously anticipated. Tremendously. Daniel Cormier had an idea. I hope his idea catches on. He says have them fight on December 6th. Now, right now, that's scheduled T-Mobile Arena. It's ESPN's final show with the platform, and it's scheduled to be headlined by Merab. I don't believe that they would come in and let Merab know, hey, you're now a co-main event. But Merab and everybody else would understand. If it's a hurry to get these 2 guys, there's no injury, there's no training camp issue, there's no weigh-in and weight cut issue, we just need another day. We couldn't finish at that. We just need another day. I hope they do it December 6th, but I definitely don't predict that for you. I don't think you're going to see even an announcement on this by December 6th. Not only do I not think they'll fight on December 6th, I don't think we'll know when they're going to fight by December 6th. I think that this is an issue, and it is going to be a very big fight. I think they're going to get their own venue, their own announcement, their own press tour. So in that regard, that is where I would disagree that Tom's stock has fallen. I would disagree if you're going to do bigger pay-per-view numbers, if you're going to be more anticipated, if you are now going to have a back-and-forth fight. Who'd you guys think was winning the fight? Who'd you have? And believe it or not, there's 2 different angles. I thought that Surreal was winning the fight. I thought it was very close. But if you had to make a decision in this moment, if there was ever a time for a draw, that was about a draw. Or Surreal. That's what I thought. But I got sent another video. I got sent a video from a ceiling view. Adam Felter sends me this. I don't even know how he got it. And when you watch from that view, it's very clear, it's going to surprise you guys, that Tom's winning the fight. Not just it looks like Tom's winning, it's actually very clear that Tom is winning the fight. I think what Surreal did such a good job of. And stopping that takedown was a huge deal. A number of you that bet on Tom did it under the premise, well, Tom can just take him down. Well, if Tom can't strike him, he'll just take him down. And I pushed back on that. I pushed back to ask you, where was your evidence coming from that Tom could just take him down? Well, Jon Jones took him down. What's that got to do with Tom taking him down? Where is your evidence that Tom can go out and tackle him and keep him there? And nobody ever answered that question. But I will tell you, in our comment section, you were more than happy to stand on that premise, whether you could answer historically a time that Tom had done that or not. Okay. So that's a big deal. That's told Tom something in the moment. Tom felt something when he tried to do that he didn't like, because he never went back to it. So now you have a question of kickboxing, and it's that old story about Brer Rabbit. He was born and raised in the briar patch. And Surreal Gane was like Brer Rabbit. He was born and raised in a stand-up fight. And Surreal was really moving well, but the number one thing that he did was his reactions and his reflexes defensively. Surreal had one where Tom came to hit him. I hope you guys see this. He looked beautiful doing it. Oscar De La Hoya used to do this. But Surreal, right here, Tom comes to hit him, and the moment that it touches a whisker, Surreal just turns his own head, and the punch just misses. Oscar used to do this so well that I was a young kid, and with my inexperience, I thought he was getting hit so hard he was like spinning around. I thought the opponents were hitting Oscar so hard that he was like throwing his head like this. Hitting him so hard that he was throwing his head. I had to get older before I realized it was a technique and it's points Oscar. And Surreal actually did that. Tom throws a punch and Surreal actually just turns and looks the other way as the punch missed, but he did a number of things. He was covering, he was rolling, he was coming underneath. Surreal landed a big shot. Turns out Tom's got one hell of a chin. We didn't know that. Surreal hit him right on that chin. Boom. And Tom, he was so well built and his neck was so strong, like you might not have even seen it because there was no reaction. He moved forward and he kept throwing. These guys really did a really good fight for the moments that we saw. However, the fight was going the way that Surreal thought it would go. The fight was going right along the lines of what Surreal and his team planned for. The fight was a bit of a surprise for Tom and their team. They thought you were right. They thought when he wants, he'll change elevation and he'll take him down. They thought Tom is a little too fast and he hits too hard for Surreal to take the power on the feet. But Surreal was taking the power. The fight was turning into what was going to look like a long, drawn-out contest. And we were so curious as viewers, what happens in a second round? How does Tom look? What happens in a third round? We've seen Surreal there, but we haven't seen Tom. So all the question, all the pressure it's on Tom. That's the one with the question marks. And did Tom's stock drop? Look, you guys had built Tom into this superhero that could put Surreal on his finger and just like spin him around like a ball. You had taken things way too far. He's a human being. He's really big. He's young. He's really good. Surreal's those same things. And so there's a reason we got to have the contest, right? There's a reason you got to get him in the ring. But there's also a reason that the athlete that was a 3 or plus 3-1 favorite has a chance of being the underdog. Like, we did learn a lot about them in that moment. We did learn a lot about them in that exchange. And so I would just ask you, who do you think was getting the better of it? If we were to take what we had, which is essentially one round, I'm rounding up, but we essentially had one round. If we were to take that and do that 4 more times, who do you believe would have won?